Welcome back, and to finish out the jersey collection slash jersey history videos, we're finishing off with the Winnipeg Jets, which means I'm going to wear my Manitoba Moose jersey, which I got from Sports K for, I think it was $65. I just have the blue one, I don't have the white one. I may eventually get the white one. I like the Moose logo. I was actually mildly surprised. I remember when Winnipeg came back, I thought, they could go with Manitoba Moose for their name, and they went with the Jets. Makes sense they went with the Jets. But at least we didn't lose the Moose. Because I like the Moose. Anyways, that being said, we're going to start off. Now, this is going to be the Atlanta Thrashers and the Winnipeg Jets. But it's also going to include the original Jets because their current jerseys do feature original Jets logos. And so we're going to go through that in this video. So, in coming over from the WHA, they were allowed to keep their jerseys. That's about all they were allowed to keep. Okay, so you guys are in the NHL. We're going to take all your good players. You're not going to be very good. But you can keep your logo. And minor alterations made to the jersey where they look a lot like the Rangers jerseys of the 70s, and that's by design. So, the difference between these jerseys and the Rangers jerseys of the 70s, well, basically the logo on the front and the stripes are a little bit different, but they're very, very similar. And again, by design. So while the Rangers didn't like their design with the shield on the front, at least the fans didn't. These were well received by Winnipeg. Winnipeg was just glad to be in the NHL. Just glad to be there. And it's a classic look. Not one that I was, really big on in the 80s myself as a kid, but it's a classic look, and it's one that they've knocked it out of the park when they've done throwbacks to it since getting their team back. This is far too short-lived. This was the logo they changed to. And I liked this one better. Now, I only have the blue one. The white one, I have one that's on order. But with everything being shut down, I have no idea when I'm actually getting it. But I have one on order that I ordered a couple months back. And again, no idea when I'm getting it. And I'm not delaying this video until I've got the white one. But I've got a white one coming. And it's going to have Solani on the back. I believe it's the Solani one. I know it's between Solani and Essence. And I went, not going to be a smart ass about it. I'll get Solani. As much as I liked Essence, Solani is the name that's thought of with this jersey, which is odd because the trading of Solani, in part, was a sign that the Winnipeg Jets weren't long for Winnipeg. There were financial constraints and issues going on with Winnipeg, and Solani not staying with the Jets franchise was a real kick in the you-know-what for Jets fans who sadly would see this logo gone. I want to see this back on a jersey at some point. I want to see this on a third. I like the stripes on it. I like the design. I think it's sharp. Now, to quote Jeff Hardy, they would fade away and become obsolete, but they would come back. And they would come back after Atlanta came into the league, which wasn't that long after Winnipeg was gone. So Winnipeg moves to Arizona, and Atlanta's given a franchise. And they're called the Thrashers. And you know what? I know there's people who think this is an ugly logo and an ugly jersey, and I disagree. Now, the weird thing with their home and away was that their away didn't feature the same logo as the home jersey did. This was the away in the beginning. I always found that weird because I always thought this was the third jersey that first season where I'm like, they're wearing their third again? That's odd. And then I realized, that's how they do it. They have a different logo on one jersey than they do on the other. And I kind of like this one more. Although this one's sharp, I kind of like this one more. You can see that it's a T, and you can see the shape of the bird. I think it's kind of and it's different. And we always talk about teams trying something different, and the colors were a little bit unusual, and the whole design was different. And of course, the design all the way around was interesting. It's sort of similar to what Arizona had going on at the time, and the overall feel of it, and yet it was something that was definitely different. And then in came Reebok. And what Reebok did was they changed the neckline so that the design wasn't all the way around. And they got rid of the stripes at the bottom, and they added the piping. Now, the Winnipeg Jets jerseys you saw there, the blue one, I got that one through, I believe it was through Sport Check, actually. The white one I got through Jersey Baron on eBay. And then the other throwback that you guys saw with Winnipeg, I got that one through a seller on eBay. And then the Atlanta Thrashers, the white one, I bought that myself at a Sport Check in Chilliwack back in the day when Sport Check actually had all the jerseys. And the blue one I actually had gifted to me by a friend of mine, though I know he got it at a store in Chilliwack as well. So there you go. This one I got through Jersey Baron on eBay. It was listed as a prototype. So I was like, all right, well, whatever it is, whether it's a prototype or whatever it is, I want it because it was not my collection. And it's sharp. It's an authentic. So when it's an authentic, it's a heavier material. It's a heavier product. And I think it's fine. I do not understand the lack of stripes on the bottom of Reebok jerseys. I don't know what they didn't like about the stripes. I don't understand why. But then they came out with a third, and there's a divided opinion on this one. I've always liked this jersey. So there's also a third that has Thrashers written across the front that's in red. I don't have that in my collection. My wife does. So I was able to find a women's on full moon jerseys. I think they still have it. And so I got it for her, and every now and then she'll wear it and kind of parade around like, oh, I've got one that you don't have. But what I like with this one, I like the Atlanta on the sleeve, the Thrasher on the shoulder here. I do. I like the Atlanta word mark on the sleeve because it's something that makes it unique and it makes it stand out. I don't think it's ugly at all. Although when the Hockey News did a top 10 ugliest jerseys, this was in it. And I remember looking at that and going, well, I don't think it's that ugly. This is one of those ones that was ugly at the time, but I think the more years go by, the more people are going to think it's fine. Again, this is an authentic as well. I got this one was through Full Moon Jerseys. And I was stunned when it was on there, and it did not last very long. They sold out fast. So, yeah, it's an authentic Reebok. It's in pretty darn good shape, and I like it. So, despite many people not, I think it's a fine one. And yeah, I know the color's odd and the logo, it's just fine. It's just fine. But eventually, no matter how nice the jerseys were, no matter how much we can debate about them, they would get moved back to Winnipeg. Well, we would get a team back in Winnipeg. Atlanta moved their first team to Calgary, then they moved their second team to Winnipeg. So Atlanta needs a third team so we can get one in Quebec. See, that's what we do. We just keep giving expansion teams to Atlanta, and they can just keep feeding them to Canadian cities. And before you know it, Canada's got 10 or 12 cities in the NHL, and we can have more Atlanta jerseys to look at in videos like this. So when Winnipeg came back, they had a logo that was inspired by the RCAF, Royal Canadian Air Force. And the logo on the shoulders, very nice shoulders as well. Sharp jersey overall. The striping on it, I think, is okay. A little bit weird on the white ones. We'll get to that. Because the blue one's pretty straightforward. This one I got from Ben H Sports. You can see it's a Blake Wheeler. Something about me with captain jerseys. All right, it's got a C on the front. There you go, I want that one. And then this one here, this is the white one. I got this one from Ben H Sports. Now I want to say as well, the original I had of this in a Reebok was the first Winnipeg Jets jersey that I had, and Yvonne bought it for me. It was a present she bought me, so there you go. Now this one was not originally a Mark Scheifele jersey. So this is a Scheifele Winnipeg Jets, and of course assistant captain and all of that. It's a nice jersey, and of course I shouldn't mention here that Jordan knocked me down in a street hockey game, a meetup that we had, one of the first meetups that we had, and damaged this jersey because if I mention it, Jordan doesn't like it when I mention that. So I'm not going to mention it here because we all know if I don't want to mention a name, I won't. Michael Bublé knows this very well. Jordan knows this as well. So after the damage to the jersey, I ordered the name and number kit to put over top. And in all honesty, it made the jersey better anyways. So maybe getting knocked down was the best thing that ever happened to it. But yeah, this one I got from Ben H, as I did with this one as well. So in returning to Winnipeg and getting the rights to all their old logos back, which is how it should be, Winnipeg comes up with this. This is their heritage jersey. I'm trying to remember, does this one have the logo on the sleeve? No, it does not. So I love the chain stitching here. It's a nice bonus that they didn't have on the jerseys in the 80s. You can see it there. Chain stitching all the way around, which is kind of nice on both Winnipeg and on Jets. And the white one is my favorite of the two. And it is one of my favorite jerseys in the entire collection. Of course, this is a throwback to the style they wore in the WHA. And then this one's got the Heritage logo on it. So right here, there's the Heritage. 2019 Heritage. And of course, both of these I got through Ben H Sports. And again, chain stitching all the way around. The only thing with this, and I know it's the one they wore in the WHA, I know. It's just, I thought they would invert the logo. I thought the logo would be white and that the background would be blue just to make the logo stand out a little bit. And Jets would be in blue. But it's fine. It works as it is. This is one of my favorites as well. Winnipeg does hit it out of the park. And then the much discussed third jersey. So the third jersey is interesting. I know this is one that didn't sell particularly well. It's got the airplane right in here. You can see the jet right in there. You see the outline? Sometimes it's easy to miss. I missed it the first time. It was somebody else that alerted me to it. So again, through Ben H Sports. And I like it. I like the color. Now, if you took their main logo, this one here off this sleeve, and you put this right in the middle here, I think you've got a winning third jersey. But again, they were trying something a little different. They put a word mark on the front, and it worked. Now, I do have a couple of what you might call fashion jerseys with Winnipeg. Black Ice. A Black Ice Winnipeg Jets jersey. This one I got off Full Moon Jerseys. It's got the Winnipeg inside the neckline there. And it's a Bufflin. So it wasn't that cheap. Might be cheaper now. I don't think they have it anymore. I think it's gone. If they have it, they'd only have a couple left, would be my guess. But for some reason, Winnipeg on the Black Ice, it looks fantastic. I would put Winnipeg right up there with Toronto when it comes to the look of the Black Ice jerseys with their overall look. And also acquired through Ben H Sports is the Hockey Fights Cancer jersey from this year. The black jerseys with the logos on the front, they look so much sharper than I thought than the ones that were the pinkish purple color from here. I think they look better. And with the Jets, they went with the third as the logo on the front rather than the main logo. And I think it looks pretty nice. So I wanted to get that in here. But there you go. The jersey history of the Winnipeg Jets, which includes the Thrashers as well. Because without the Atlanta Thrashers, the Jets don't come back. So there's that. Anyways, there you go. And I do believe that's it. One more. This is, of course, the All-Star jersey from this year. Winnipeg Jets. I do like the single color works for some logos. It doesn't work for Boston or Edmonton in my eyes, but it works for the Winnipeg Jets. Again, it's the color you're going to pick, like the blinding yellow and blinding orange. It's not going to work for any logo in my eyes, but anyways, again, as I've mentioned before, these jerseys tend to be relatively easy to find right now because they didn't sell as well as last year's All-Star jerseys, but I do like them. Again, the sparkle of the silver stripes is nice. And with Winnipeg, I do tend to get a lot of their special jerseys here and there, and I do wear Jets regularly. At least I try to. I try to balance that out as much as possible when it comes to which jerseys I'm wearing out of this collection behind me and the one that's right behind the computer as well. So, thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey through the jersey collection that you've seen and through all 31 teams' history, even the daunting task of doing the Vegas one. I'm still trying to recover from the Vegas one. It was just insane. But thank you guys so much for all your support. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, I can't wait until we're doing Team 32 and it's Seattle. Name the team. Today's a good day. And knowing that this is going to be evergreen content because 2-3 months from now it could still be name the team today and they'll be like they still haven't. So I'm posting this on June 15th. We'll see how long the name the team Seattle is still relevant. Could be a while. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.